fresh fish.
New Voltaren Active relieves inflammation from sports injuries because reducing inflammation is the first step to relieve pain and get you back in the game. Voltaren Active, official partner of Canada Soccer.
Every new Hyundai vehicle sold supports Hyundai Health on Wheels and its mission to help end childhood cancer. With more than $4 million donated across Canada this year, Hyundai and its team are just getting started to help kids put cancer in the rearview mirror.
Do I have a story for you? The Dark Emperor has been taking over the world. Last dragon, unicorn, and elemental being off the surface of the earth. Our planet is dying as humans overconsume and pile their waste in natural habitats. Deforestation, forest fires, oil spills, not to mention mass extinctions at an alarming rate. Earth, fire, water. The elemental guardians are reincarnated. To bring balance, the elementals must harmonize for the earth to restabilize. Rainbow children, remember who you really are. Activate your diamond hearts and let your talent. You are the heroes of the earth's future.
fucking player tracking, using millions of data points to compare player speed, power, and impact. See for yourself all playoffs long at NHL.com/edge.
From Darren Pack, Jack Brendan with you here in Game 5. Tonight, Crosby's game. 20 high tops. All over the smoke. That's good. We shall see. 3-way. Here's ahead. That slides up there with Doan and Benson. And then at times there you can have another guy come down on that fourth line if they're using center ice position. From the wall middle step. Plays that as Byram after the call was called. Byram gets there ahead and then holding off the power before he heads off the ice. Anybody but power making changes for Buffalo. Wow, this fresh takes a swing down. Zucker, the veteran, putting on the goals up off the ice by Jeremy Swayman. And Swayman uses the angle of his goal stick. Has his glove there as well, so it hits the stick and just comes up a couple of degrees right in the net. Easy way to do it, so. Buffalo gets his own face-off here. Buffalo Sabres, a shot from the side. Easy play, but you can't leave anything for chance whatsoever. Buffalo had the advantage in the face-off dot with 2 periods of play. Here in the third period, there's been 13 face-offs, now 14. Boston has officially pulled that one yet. Boston's won 12 of the first 13 face-offs here in the third period. And that puck did hit the ice. That's why they're going to reset. A lot of discussion between the players' teams. Thomas had discussion with both linesmen in the last commercial break about the foot position of the linesmen. Always a battle, always communication, always a negotiation. What you don't want to do is get those linesmen on the wrong side of you. You're not going to win that battle. You got to do your best. Work with them. And work against them. Dumped in by Andrew deep around the back line. Backing his way to the goal. That's Davis. Tuchman on the wall. With Nilan. Now in now with Tyler with it. And he's lost control of it. Pastrnak with it. He'll back it in now. Stolen puck settled by Keith just inside the line. Pastrnak is out by Samuelson. With one hand. Turns back. Tries to shoot. That one was shut off in front by Nalini. Fair play with the first to skate. He'll carry it over the line. Try to dance his way through. Samuelson knocked down by Keith. Forum tried to clear it. Gave it away now. Looks right in. The shot blocked. And a try from Thompson. Swings from the open crease out the other side. Swinging gets some energy. Clutching that puck from all areas. No shot's going to be a bad shot this time of the game. Left the puck behind. Steves went to dump it in. It was directed over the glass and out of play. We've hit the final 5 minutes and 8 seconds of the third period of Game 5. Tage Thompson's shot with a ricochet. Can't find the back of the net.
With 3 new KFC Crave and Save combos for just $4.49, any choice you make is a good one. Get your choice of snacker wraps, sliders, or popcorn chicken, plus fries and a drink for just $4.49.
This May, look for your census letter in the mail. Your responses help plan community-based programs and services. Completing it is easy and confidential.
This Friday, the wait. Finally, over.
Sam, are you cheating on me with another pet store?
No. Just, I have auto ship. As far as auto ship too. And same day delivery. For like the full package. Anyway, so anything for pets. Here at the Fox, we know men need a deodorant stick that's just as high performing as they are. Sometimes even more so. Natural deodorant, 72-hour protection to help you feel like a man and smell like a champ. Dr. Slump.
This is the way. Enter for your chance to win with the Orville Redenbacher. The Mandalorian Grogu only airs May 22nd.
The Raptors are back to tie the series. Raptors, Cavaliers, Game 5. Tomorrow. action in Dallas. Wild have a 2-1 lead in that game on ESPN2. 10-20 puck drop. Moss pitch ready for Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. And that's 4 games tomorrow. Montreal, Tampa, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh. 5 minutes to go in regulation time here in Game 5. As they spot down a potential Easton goal as we deal with Nolan Byron. Lead in the first, an unassisted goal for Elias Lindholm in the second. That's it. That's all so far. We need at least one more. Don't. Powers couldn't steer that one through with Benson trying. Taken by Steve. Alex Steve. Boy, my 6-year-old missed playoff debut.
Back is trying to put extra in a tough spot right there. Steve said his line mate is looking for a line mate. That's a smart thing.
Down with the speed. 6 from the back of the wood. Elias Lindholm. Working around the back of the net. Aspero. Off the glove of Dolly. Here's an opportunity for Yogi. How are you? Missed it wide. Good look for the former senior D-man. Here's Middlestem. His shot off the glass over the head of Lions. Cleared by Buffalo.
Yogi Harris, I feel like stress this a lot with playing the clock, you're playing the series, you got to hit the net.
Been a playoff for him since he was in the Western Hockey League with Portland back in 2018. Pastrnak in the back tie-up. Usmanino trying to fish it out. Pastrnak came out of it. Back to the net with it. Couldn't bring it through the front though. Tage Thompson, an opportunity to clear. His pass was in the skates of Krebs though.
Great defending by the 5-man unit of the Buffalo Sabres in their own zone, and it started with Tuck being physical behind the net.
Saka enters. Pastrnak, long range. Flying, grabs the rebound, and Byram had to guide it away from an open net. Thrown towards the slot. Saka got a piece of it. Simmons off the glass. Usmanino knocked it down. Dealing with Tuckett. Leonov knocked it down. Dealing with Tuckett. Simmons who finds Owen Byram. Goals in 3 straight games. Coming into this one as he ties up with Zadorov. Running off the clock here, approaching 2.5 minutes to go. Owen Power loads, shoots. It was blocked as soon as he let it go by Usmanino.
Way too long. I think he was trying to wait and go back to the right, which his defense partner Byron was set up in the hash marks.
Lots of room to roam for Power. Pulls up as he enters. Drifting off, he'll chuck it towards the net. Bounced around towards Greenway. Greenway, wrister, loose puck, backhand, wouldn't go for Kozak. Flipped into the crease. Swipe and scramble, and the Marlins clear. It'll be icing, but Boston dodges a bullet.
Greenway does a good move to start this off on the right side as a lefty. Jamming pucks towards the net. Right here, hash marks, wheel, shot, rebound in front. Oh my goodness. Kozak spotted off the backhand at first and then tries to flip it towards the front. Here's the shot by Greenway. The save with the glove by Swayman, but it's not in the glove. It's loose and he pounces to the left. And then he tries to lift the left leg up. It goes in the maze of players right there. Oh boy.
Warning issued to Boston off the draw. Following the icing. Bruins are about 40 seconds in shift length as the puck put back in play. Give it away. Here's Doan to the net, and it didn't get a Buffalo bounce. Darlene for Doan. They keep the pressure on. Blue line. Samuelson across the ice. Darlene on the move. Crisscrossing Darlene's wrister to the net. Got close enough for Swayman to cover up. Kelly Sutherland halts play while the crowd and Doan both look for a call.
And don't try to get position. Fraser didn't stick his wedge between his legs. And the fans thought that should have been a penalty. Great movement from the 2 defensemen, Samuelson and Darlene. There's the play in front of the net. Doan goes down. Fans are now seated on the jumbotron. You can hear the roar of disapproval there. Good job by Doan to get to the front of the net as you would expect.
Only 2 men in NHL history have refereed more playoff games than Kelly Sutherland. 255 of them, including tonight. But the paid attendance here disagrees with his recent assessment. They saw one again by Buffalo, but give it up, and Stadinov will hit the red line and dump it in. go here in regulation of Game 5. Sabres can't get it out of the zone. A Bruins win will force a Game 6. A Sabres win ends things tonight. Krebs across the ice, and it's Tage Thompson. He'll rip it around the boards. Comes all the way out of the zone. Power has to wait, and he will. Thompson and Tuck and Krebs all off the ice here as we hit the final minute of the third. Power down to Quinn. Jack Quinn can't get around Hampus Lindholm. Rolls to Power. Now it's Byram. Long range wrester. Touched away with purchase by Swayman. Up the wall, Morgan Geekie. 47 seconds left. Middleton taking a look. Pass across. Offside at the Buffalo line.
Good backside pressure there by the Buffalo Sabres. Eliminating that pass onto the offside right there. Shot by Bowen Byram from the point. He's excellent at getting the pucks through. Some guys just have that innate ability, and some guys plug it off shit. That's his stick. That's just the fact of the matter. He gets them through. And it goes by the first forward, which you've got to get it through there. And then Swayman sees it easily. Eyes on the puck. Uses the block.
Off with 40 seconds to go in the third. Morgan Geekie. It's the blue line. Dumps it the rest of the way. Samuelson. Racing for impact. Makes the hit. The puck found its way to Rasmus Dahlin. Sabres captain on the move. He'll hit the red line and dump it with 24 seconds to go. Round towards Kozak. Going and Benson out there with the puck rolled away, and it's Elias Lindholm looking for an exit. McAvoy will stop and wait as he looks at the clock and now reads his hand. They've been waiting 19 years to see a playoff series make it to the second round here in Buffalo. They're going to have to wait a little bit longer if it's going to happen tonight. Overtime in Game 5 between the Bruins and the Sabres, all tied at 1. First time the Sabres have gone to overtime in a playoff game since April 24th, 2011. Coming up is the Overtime Intermission Report. It's presented by Honda, Leah McHugh, Anson Carter, Paul Bissonnette, and Bruce Cassidy standing by. 1 goal in the first, 1 goal in the second, no goals in the third. Game 5 headed overtime.
Chevy Silverado. A family weekend. No time to waste. An available Super Cruise. The only hands-free towing tech on the road. So you can go big and go home feeling more relaxed.
Truck Month is back. Sleep on the Silverado Custom Trail Boss, Canada's most affordable 2-inch factory-lifted V8 truck.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
What's this?
Oh, it's an offering to the hockey guys.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Morals. Am I right?
Companies everywhere bought into AI. Problem is, nothing works yet.
That was not me.
I mean, the ServiceNow AI platform breaks down the walls. It integrates everything in your workflow.
Any data source and with the AI control tower, we can finally manage all our AI.
The ServiceNow AI platform lets you connect and control everything to put AI to work for your people. Take a seat here. On a chair.
Easiest if everybody just moves down one. No, okay.
We're here for our convertible.
How about an SUV?
For this trucks, they're right here.
Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Introducing the steak and cheese melt at Firehouse Subs. Stacked with new tender, flame-seared prime rib, melted provolone, caramelized onions and peppers, top sliced, toasted twice and extra melted. Because firefighters do things the right way. Only at Firehouse Subs.
Push back on your tough pain. Introducing new Tylenol Dual Action Acetaminophen plus ibuprofen. Relieve aches and pains and reduce pain caused by inflammation in one effective solution. Dual action for your tough pain.
Over a century, Frigidaire has cleared and performed. We've maximized the space for up to 35 bags of groceries and created the adaptable fridge to freezer drawer that always put your family first. Dare to expect more. Frigidaire.
For 240 years.
because it doesn't matter when it's in. It matters where it's from. Most everyone is.
Oh, sheep? They're beside the pasta.
Don't trust your bedding to just any store. Leon's has complete sleep solutions like pillows, comforters, and sheet sets starting at $19.
Spend less, sleep comfortably. This is Body Armor, real hydration with electrolyte. No coating from artificial sources and coconut water. Body Armor.
Hey, Andy, how are you, man?
So excited.
That is so good. Food is so much more than just nourishment. It's memories, it's culture, it's history. Keep it fresh, keep it local.
Food Network, now it's 3 free.
Tomorrow, Hockey Central sets the stage. After 3 unanswered goals in Game 4.
Thanksgiving's coming back to town.
The Canadians need to seal a crucial win in Tampa and reclaim the series lead. Then, after avoiding elimination,
My goodness, this has changed significantly.
the Canadians force Game 7 and out west after a thrilling comeback win. Vegas looks for the edge at home. Just have to watch the Stanley Cup playoffs on Sportsnet.
It's the Overtime Intermission Report presented by Honda for their 10th time this postseason for the 5th night in a row. And for the first time in this series, regulation time, simply not enough. It is 1-1 in an elimination game. And Buffalo Sabres trying to win and move on. Boston trying to win and force this series to extend back on home ice for them. Lee McHugh, Paul Bisnet, Anson Carter. We have Coach Bruce Cassidy here. Game 4, Buffalo, 19 shots in the first period. Tonight, 19 shots on goals. We get set for OT. Outside of the last little flurry there, did you see much from the Buffalo Sabres in the third period?
I didn't, but I thought Jeremy Swayman was great. He was great for the Boston Bruins. I think Jeremy Swayman knew that Coach Cassidy was in the studio. He wanted to see a little extra hockey, for him to work a little overtime. So he made some really.
Don't take it easy on him.
Don't take it easy at all. But this is actually pretty good for the Boston Bruins. I think the Bruins want to come into a low-scoring game. Buffalo Sabres score a little bit easier biz than the Boston Bruins do. So I like the way things have turned out so far after 60 minutes with these.
Yeah, I think probably about 6 to 8 minutes after the second had started, that's when they kind of changed around the momentum. I feel like ever since they've really slowed the game down to their pace. I thought during the third period they did a good job of sustained pressure. Maybe probably as a coach would want a little bit more to the inside, where I felt like Buffalo, when they did, they got more of the grade A's where Swayman had to come up big.
Yeah, they had a couple East-West plays. He made some big saves. But the rush team isn't there like it typically is. Got to give the Bruins credit. They've done a better job with that. I think Buffalo's defensemen, that you pointed out earlier, are generating some of their offense more with their movement in the O-zone, but just not as much free ice off the rush, and I think that's why it's 1-1.
It's been quiet. Both goalies have been good. We'll learn a lot about Alex Line as we go along. As we get into overtime, I mean, the defense has generated offense. How do Buffalo's forwards get going?
I think for them, if they got to try to go quick shifts and turn them over, because ultimately that pace and speed and the way they forecheck can take over. For Boston, as you know, Cassidy, with going over to the other side with that long change, you got to make sure you're keeping guys fresh constantly. And of course, the first guy over the boards is taking away that weak side to not really allow those easy rushes and guys coming up ice.
Yeah, the tendency of the coach is you want to get your best players out there early to try to end it early, but now it gets going for a little longer. You don't want to lose people either, so it's a tough call. As a coach, you got to have a feel for where you're at, but it's usually these are the moments for the best players, right? So you want to make sure they're not sitting too long.
I'm checking the stat sheet too. Only 255, no Oaksman. That's a big loss for the Sabres. That line with Doan and Benson and Ostlund, they were unreal for the Buffalo Sabres last game. Not having the lineup, Liam, I think could be a big contributor to why they have a hard time generating offense.
He had replaced the injured Josh Norris a couple games ago. He stepped right in. He's done a great job. It is a big loss for them. We got another game going on, though. To remind you, this one over on True TV, the Ducks and the Oilers. John Forsman, Eddie Olczyk, Megan Nicholson with the call of this one. Connor McDavid, not only is he in the game, guys, he's starting
McDavid,
Well, three of it with the way Kapanen's going right now.
again, this game, because of our game going to overtime, it is over on True. We catch it there, and then obviously it will swing over to our network when we are final in Buffalo. Okay, so this idea that you want to keep it tight, you want to keep it low scoring. At some point, you don't have to open it up, but are you looking at overtime, like waiting for Buffalo to make a mistake and our guys to play conservatively? How do you attack it?
I don't think you can do that. You got to be on your toes, just calculated risks, make good decisions. And again, like this point, a long change, it can really affect the play, and that's where Buffalo's D should have the advantage because they can get up the ice in a hurry. They're more tilted that way to play off the rush. The boss got to be mindful of that. Smart line changes here. Don't get yourself in trouble or an odd man. Shift smart. Might not even give them the option. Stay out there too long and just make it 20-30. Get the guys rolling.
That's why from the Boston Bruins, I'm quick to contact, especially in the offensive zone, and don't allow those Sabres defensemen to jump by you because they do, you could be in trouble.
Yeah, they got to close quick, and we've seen it when they've done it well. They've got pucks back and away they go. When there's been a little bit of indecision, that's opened up some ice for them. But that's hockey, right? You got to sort out things quick, and usually what happens, capitalize on.
Well, we've talked about this throughout the playoffs. This idea of the tired brain, right?
Yeah,
the mind kind of gets out before the body does. And I do wonder because for Buffalo, you talked about the adrenaline of the moment to start the game.
Yeah.
Right, handling that, it can drain you.
For sure.
Now it's overtime. That tries to be ramped up once again. So the game, it's a tricky situation.
Yeah, and as you mentioned with Austin out, there's 11-4, it's had to take a lot of the brunt of the ice time, right? So that's why I think it's important for them, where if, they could get quick turnover shifts, I think they can keep up to their pace, which will ultimately end the Bruins season. That's my thought. I can actually see the goal in my mind right now. Of course. I think it's going to be Josh going in front of the net with a surgical tip. I think bodies to the net, just over time, we've seen a lot of these goals, a lot of greasy ones that
We're very specific.
yeah, I can see it in my brain. I'm going straight to Eastern Office right now. I'm kind of going to black out.
What else?
Anyway. But maybe it's a drawn penalty. I'm seeing it right now. Maybe from Benson McCartney below the goal line. I just bought Mega Millions tickets. Don't see that too. No, I don't do that.
No, nothing. I think that's.
I could make constipation noises. Yeah, no.
No, I think that's okay. Listen, it's this massive moment, and Buffalo. You don't want to get caught up in the emotions that I mentioned, but here you are. This is it. You haven't won a playoff series game forever. It's been almost 2 decades. You're in overtime. Next goal wins. What do you think the locker room is like right now for this Buffalo Sabres?
I think the team's pretty calm. I think Vinny's has a ton of experience.